Let's see. Let's go to the 209 area code. Who's calling today from 209?
Hey, David, this is Cameron.
Hey, Cameron, what's going on?
Well, you have a lot of good calls today, actually. I'm actually kind of not exactly sure what exactly to ask, but I did want to, uh, I basically wanted to get your opinion on uh, what I think is who I think are the real front runners for the Democrat Party, and that would be Bernie Sanders, of course. What exactly do you think are his? Because I think he's like by far the front runner. I don't think anyone comes close, even Biden, even though he hasn't announced. I just think Sanders has far more support. What do you think are the biggest obstacles in his way from clinching the nomination?
Okay, so Bernie Sanders right now has a plurality of Democratic support if you don't count Joe Biden on the basis of the polling. The question is going to be, can he consolidate that support, and can he get the support he needs in certain states that are early in the primary process? So if Bernie continues polling 20%, 25% into the first primaries, that certainly means he's going to start picking up delegates right away. The question is, will he win enough states? Because just getting some delegates in a bunch of states, it'll keep you in the race for a while, but it won't win you the race. So I don't want to play into
Right,
the sort of stereotypes around this, but like South Carolina as an example, there's a contingent that says Bernie's not doing well with black people, so he's not going to do well in South Carolina. The polling actually does not suggest that, but let's pretend that that were true for a
right,
second. If South Carolina
yeah,
comes and goes and Bernie doesn't do well, every time that happens, it starts to make it a bigger and bigger obstacle to overcome to ultimately get more delegates than anybody else.
right, right. I think he can actually win like deep red states like West Virginia because he did beat Hillary in the primaries in that state.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just concerned because the media doesn't seem to be as harsh, in my opinion, to him as before, because I think he has this giant, uh, giant band of support. But I'm not sure because I can see you can see what they're clearly doing to Tulsi Gabbard right now, who I think is just as strong, if not as strong as um, well, maybe like almost as strong as Bernie Sanders, but
On what
then you have
basis? I mean,
Beto.
are you basing that on polling, fundraising? Because I don't see her nearly as strong as Bernie on any of those.
Well, I mean, like when it comes to her composure, her rhetoric, her just her platform, and how because I've talked to a lot of conservative friends, and they seem to if they were given the opportunity, like if she got the nomination, that they would absolutely vote for her.
Mm.
Mostly due to her non-interventionist policies, um, and along that
Yeah, yeah. I
along
just
those lines.
disagree. So I'm hearing you like her rhetoric, but on what matters, which I think is favorability, polling, and fundraising, I don't think she's nearly as strong as Bernie. But we'll see what
I think
happens.
I'm just basing
Gotcha. I
on her
gotcha. Point
platform
made. I
basically.
I gotta run, but I appreciate the phone call. We will see ultimately what happens with Bernie Sanders. And on that note, I've got to go to a break. Sorry to everybody I didn't get to, but I will take phone calls again next week.